Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. It's Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. And we begin with the stars seeming to continually align for one young person to follow her dreams. When Hayley Arsenault was 10, she successfully battled bone cancer and went on to become a physician's assistant. Now, the 29-year-old has been selected to be the youngest person ever launched into the cosmos. The space enthusiast was chosen among hundreds of St. Jude staff members to represent the Memphis, Tennessee hospital on the first ever all-civilian spaceflight arranged by SpaceX. The fundraiser for the famous children's hospital will require rigorous training and is tentatively scheduled to blast off at the end of this year. Hayley tells the Associated Press that her battle with cancer really prepared her for space travel, saying, "It made me tough, taught me to expect the unexpected and go along for the ride." There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccine, but right now it's primarily available for people 18 and older. So what about kids? Dr. Anthony Fauci now predicts that those under the age of 12 won't get the shot until the end of the year at the earliest, more likely the first quarter of 2022. On Sunday, the White House chief medical advisor said on NBC's Meet the Press that there are ongoing studies examining the effectiveness of the vaccine on grammar school kids, but it'll be a while before enough data is collected to make sure the vaccine is safe for them. He does expect high school students to be able to be vaccinated sometime this fall, pretty close to the first day of school. When you go to see a doctor, you expect to have his or her full attention. So it was pretty shocking that a California surgeon appeared on a Zoom call with the Sacramento Superior Court while performing surgery. As first reported in the Sacramento Bee, Dr. Scott Green had to be in court virtually for a traffic violation. On the call, he was seen dressed in his surgical scrubs, operating on a patient who was out of the camera's view, with medical machines beeping in the background. Dr. Green assured the judge that another surgeon was also on hand and it was fine to proceed with the hearing. But the judge said absolutely not. He did not feel comfortable about the welfare of the patient and set a different trial date. In a statement to the Bee newspaper, the Medical Board of California said it would look into the incident. The Golden Globe Awards were handed out Sunday night in another mostly remote affair, with co-host Tina Fey in New York City and Amy Poehler in LA speaking in front of a socially distanced audience of first responders. All the nominees appeared virtually from home, and just like during a Zoom classroom, there were some funny moments. Actor Bill Murray was applauded for his tropical background and bright Hawaiian shirt instead of the usual tuxedo. Jeff Daniels was given grief for beaming in from a room that had about 5 doors behind him. Several of the nominees for Best TV Actress decided to show off their pets on screen, and some wondered if Al Pacino briefly fell asleep while on camera. Want a simple way to help save the planet? Don't waste food. According to the nonprofit ReFed, more than a third of all food grown for human consumption in the U.S. never makes it to someone's stomach, and the carbon footprint of all that wasted food is greater than that of the airline industry. An article in the Washington Post says this problem is easy to fix. Make a list before you go shopping and buy only ingredients you plan to use. Organize the refrigerator so you can keep track of what's inside. And if fresh produce has gone bad, try to compost it instead of chucking it in the garbage. Also, ask schools to sell half portions so people don't throw away what they don't eat. And ask restaurants and grocery stores to participate in food recovery programs so surplus can go to shelters, food kitchens, and other places where it's needed. That's it for KidNuz. Now, the KidNuz quiz. How old is the youngest person ever selected to blast off into space? Hayley Arsenault is 29 years old. According to Dr. Fauci, when will grammar school kids get the coronavirus vaccine? At the end of this year or early 2022? What was a California doctor doing while on a Zoom court call? He was performing surgery on a patient. What's an easy way to combat climate change? reduce food waste. In one for the road. Tired of searching for a good fetch stick for your pooch? Maybe your dog park needs a stick library. A Canadian father-son duo did just that when they turned one of their weekly quarantine projects into a well-loved barrow bin for local dogs. 10-year-old Jeremiah and his dad placed the bundle of branches at a dog park, and to Jeremiah's delight, their creation was a hit. The evidence, the sticks were strewn all over the park from being thrown and retrieved over and over. This was Jeremiah's first community project, but it went so well that the father-son team is already planning a second stick library branch. Before we go, here's a big KidNuz shout-out to some of our teachers who've signed up in the Teacher's Lounge of our website. Miss Altman and her class at the Hanson School in Alexandria, South Dakota. Mrs. Prescott and her Prescott Peeps at Glenmore Elementary in Fremont, California. Diana Buenopain at Linden STEAM Academy in Malden, Massachusetts. Mrs. Spengler, whose advisory class likes to stay informed on current events at Easton Area Middle School in Easton, Pennsylvania. And Mrs. Ogan, whose students are working hard, #getting ready for middle school, at SPS Online in Springfield, Oregon. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.